So far in 2026, Springfield has faced multiple incidents involving cars hitting pedestrians. In response, city leaders are turning their focus to reminding drivers about a program designed to keep people safer at crosswalks. Hello and welcome to Ozarks News Brief. I'm Lillian Jackson.
And I'm Jesse Elliot. The SGF Yields program encourages drivers to slow down and yield to pedestrians. The program uses high visibility reminders and community education to help drivers recognize when someone is trying to cross the street. One of the most recognizable parts of the program is Mr. Walker, a bright yellow life-size pedestrian figure placed near crosswalks around the city. Officials say the statues are meant to grab drivers' attention and remind them that pedestrians have the right of way. With several pedestrian crashes already reported this year, city leaders say the program is an important reminder for drivers to slow down and stay alert, especially in busy areas near intersections and crosswalks. City officials say the program also focuses on education, helping both drivers and pedestrians better understand Missouri's crosswalk laws. Outside of Springfield, chants and signs filled the steps of the Missouri Supreme Court this week, all while justices inside heard a case that could change how Missouri's congressional maps are drawn. This change in congressional maps could impact who represents voters here in the Ozarks. The argument? Whether mid-cycle redistricting is legal. Reporter John Lieber spoke with the protesters and has the latest.
It's what democracy looks like. The Missouri Supreme Court considered the arguments of one of the many pending court cases related to the mid-cycle redistricting effort.
I think arguments went well. Those of you who have been in front of this Supreme Court, they don't ask as many questions as maybe prior Supreme Courts have done. They already understand the arguments.
The respondents, Secretary of State Denny Hoskins and the Missouri State Republican Committee, argued that there is nothing in the state's constitution to suggest lawmakers can't redistrict more often. The appellants argued redistricting is tethered to the census.
I was a little surprised by the admission that under their theory you can redistrict, I guess, once a year, every year.
Following the arguments, People Not Politicians hosted a rally outside the Supreme Court. That's the group fighting to get a public referendum on the fall ballot that would prevent the redrawn districts from going into effect.
It was a rally in support of the state Supreme Court. We believe the state Supreme Court has done an excellent job of ensuring the constitutional protections that we as Missourians have over the number of court cases that they've heard.
Rallygoers say a ruling in favor of the state would be ruling against the state constitution.
The Constitution, which is our government's contract with the people, is being ignored and trod upon, and it's not right. It's got to stop.
I'm concerned that the way the gerrymandering is taking place, it's not fair. And fairness is a core value of our Constitution.
People Not Politicians also provided shirts that read, "Informed Plebeian." It's a dig at Attorney General Catherine Hanaway's description of voters as uninformed plebiscites.
I asked the crowd here today, in exchange for the t-shirt, they had to do a little work and post themselves in their t-shirt to tell Catherine Hanaway that we are informed.
We will continue to provide updates as we hear more regarding redistricting in Missouri and how that can affect those living in the Ozarks.
The CDC overturned a 3-decade-old policy in December that used to recommend the hepatitis vaccines for infants. Now 6 vaccines for all newborns, including the hepatitis A and B vaccine, are no longer required. Other immunizations also included in this decision is the flu, meningococcal, RSV, and COVID-19 vaccines. The CDC are opting for parents to consult with a medical professional before making a decision on whether or not these vaccines are appropriate for their children. U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr. referenced Denmark's similar policy as a reason for this decision. Despite these changes, the CDC still recommends several immunizations for children, including the measles, chickenpox, tetanus, and more. This new adoption of individual-based decision-making for the hepatitis B vaccine will still keep the same coverage across payment and insurance plans.
And in other government departments, a partial government shutdown within Homeland Security is leading to travel nightmares. Next week is the beginning for spring break for many schools and universities in the area. This may result in a large amount of people leaving out of our local airports. Lines at security checkpoints are stretching for hours amid a busy spring break travel season. Lee Waldman brings us with the latest.
I started a stopwatch. 32 minutes.
32
So it's moving, but it's a long line. We're going to miss our flight, I'm sure.
How long has it been, guys? 3 hours, probably.
Spring break travel nightmares at airports across the country.
Started deep inside the garage and it circles around 7 times before you even get to this part.
At the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport, TSA is advising waits can extend up to 2 hours long. In Houston at the William Hobby Airport, TSA lines stretched more than 3 hours again today after similar wait times Sunday. Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport is also advising travelers to arrive early for flights Monday and give themselves extra time to make it through security.
We know what's going on, but I think it needs to be cleaned up.
The longer wait times are being blamed on the partial government shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the TSA. Funding for the department lapsed in mid-February amid a standoff between Republicans and Democrats over federal immigration reform. Now, TSA workers are set to miss their first full paycheck this week. In a statement, a DHS spokesperson said, quote, "These frontline heroes received only partial paychecks earlier this month and now face their first full missed paycheck, leading to financial hardship, absences, and crippling staffing shortages." I'm Lee Walton reporting.
For those who are not traveling for the break, there is a new Target that just opened up on the west side of Springfield. That has shoppers very excited. The original opening date was set for March 15th, but was able to open early within the past few days to west side shoppers. Located on West Sunshine, this Target will include an Apple products store, a CVS pharmacy, and a Starbucks cafe. This Target will be the second in Springfield and will employ nearly 180 team members. This is one of 300 new Target stores set to open across the nation over the next decade.
If you are looking for products that are a bit more nostalgic than what the new Target may carry, a downtown business has the perfect solution. A local bookstore owner is looking to help revitalize interest in physical media by expanding his inventory to include movie rentals. As subscription-based streaming services continue to dominate the movie-watching experience of some people have instead turned to analog media like VHS tapes and DVDs to enjoy their favorite films. Joshua Arnett, the owner of Bookmarks, is hoping to give movie enthusiasts a better deal by opening a movie rental service.
Our original tagline is higher prices, less convenience, fewer movies, something like that. But I don't actually think that's true. Like, there is less convenience, obviously, because you're not, just clicking from bed. But we're gonna have it's gonna be $8 a month for unlimited rentals and up to 6 at a time. And that is, that is a better deal than streaming, but.
Mr. Gagurium's Video Emporium, named after the store's late cat, Googie, will have a preview night on March 21st and open for regular business on March 24th.
A Georgia high school teacher has passed away after a senior prank. In Gainesville, Georgia, a community is devastated after a supposedly harmless senior prank turned fatal. On Friday, March 6th, high school teacher Jason Hughes was killed in front of his home while a group of teens were TPing the neighborhood. Hughes was struck by the vehicle Jaden Ryan Wallace was driving. He was rushed to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. 18-year-old Jaden Ryan Wallace has been charged with first-degree vehicular homicide along with reckless driving. The other 4 teens were charged with a misdemeanor, trespassing, and littering. As of this week, Laura Hughes, the wife of Jason Hughes, also a teacher at North Hall High School, has expressed her desire to have the teens' charges dropped.
In medical news, a promising new medication, Leucovorin, is not being endorsed by the Food and Drug Administration for the use of autism, but instead for the use of a rare genetic disorder. Tuesday, the FDA said it will not approve the prescription drug as a treatment for autism. During a White House briefing last fall, officials suggested Leucovorin could help thousands of children with autism. But FDA officials now say the available evidence does not show the drug works for autism more broadly. Asked whether the agency would study that possibility further, officials said the FDA typically does not fund large trials for autism. Officials added there might be other federal efforts underway to support that research. Jumping over to weather safety this week, tornado season is upon us, and there are a couple of things we can do in the Ozarks to stay safe and minimize any danger from severe weather. The safest places to be are in windowless rooms on the lowest floor of buildings when severe weather warnings are active. Basements, bathrooms, closets, and hallways are always good options when severe weather is taking place. Hail damage can also be a major problem for car owners who do not have a covering for their vehicle. According to interactive hail maps, the Springfield area has had 89 reports of on-the-ground hail and has been under severe weather warnings 84 times during the past 12 months. To prepare for hail, you can use coverings over your vehicle, such as blankets or other items to keep it from taking damage. Ben Klein tells us his best options for vehicles when expecting hail.
Okay, take out my headlight.
For an average person that doesn't maybe have a garage or something like that, you can take your floor mats out and put them on the windshield to try to cover the glass and some of the sunroof. You can get a comforter and put it over the vehicle.
It is always better to be prepared for any weather circumstance in the Ozarks, and we can expect more storms over the spring season this year. Well, unfortunately, I left my car out last Friday when it was hailing, and there's quite a few marks on my car. Have you had any experiences with hail?
No, I have not. Luckily, I park under a garage, so I am safe from all the hail.
Good, good. I'm glad. It's not a great experience. All right, looks like we got a live look at Sunshine and National from our partners with OzarksTraffic.com. Right now, it's not looking very busy at all, which is kind of surprising to me. Usually it gets a little busy around this time, but I mean, that's great for anybody that's trying to get out and get their lunch break in or whatever's going on.
All right, we'll have your 7-day forecast when we return. You're watching Ozarks News Brief.
All right, here's a look at Missouri State University just outside of our studio.
It looks sunny out there today, but it is a little cold out there.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly this morning. I was actually kind of surprised. I was wearing this suit and I was actually confused why I was still kind of cold. I didn't expect that, but you know, sometimes the weather just gets you. All right, current conditions, it's 41 degrees outside. It feels like 37, that would explain it. It's sunny, so that can be kind of confusing, but definitely make sure to wear your jacket. Wind is 7 miles per hour, so not terrible. All right, we got the overnight temperature. It's 44 degrees, and it might feel like 55, so it's actually gonna be a little bit warmer feeling than it seems to be. The skies are clear. The chance of rain is 0%, which is always nice to hear. Yeah.
Tomorrow we have a high of 43. It's still a little chilly out there, but it is sunny. Wind 22 miles per hour. Yeah, it's going to be a little windy out there.
Not bad. All right, here's a look at our our radar. Let's see. It doesn't appear to be affecting Missouri, at least not for a little while. It looks like it's definitely hitting the east part of the continent there, moving upward towards the north. So that is definitely something they'll have to look out for. All right, here is the 7-day forecast. Thursday, it's going to be a high of 57 degrees and a low of 31. Friday, it's going to be a 67 and 43 as a low, which is awesome. I love to hear that. 75. Wow, we're getting to that summertime climate. You know what I'm saying? 43 degrees as a low. That's kind of strange. Okay. 65 degrees on Sunday. So when you're going out to church, might feel kind of nice, although there's going to be a low of 28. So we'll see about that. All right, Monday we got 29 degrees and then a low of 15. And Tuesday we got 48, a low of 20. And Wednesday, 61, low of 43.
Do you have any plans for the week?
You know, I will definitely be going to Kansas City over the next weekend and over spring break. Yeah, I can't wait to see my family and friends, and yeah, we're gonna have a great time.
All right.
Up next on Ozarks News Brief, an update on Missouri State sports and an overview of March Madness.
That and more when we return. You're watching Ozarks News Brief.
Last night, the Missouri State University men's basketball team pulled off what could be considered the biggest upset in recent college basketball history. The team pulled off a huge win in the Conference USA tournament, taking down top-seeded Liberty 77-69. The ninth-seeded Bears entered the tournament with a losing record and had struggled late in the season, but found their momentum on Wednesday. Liberty led 37-33 at halftime and extended the lead early in the second half. However, Missouri State fought back down the stretch. Michael Usei-Bonsu led the way with a career-high 31 points, scoring 21 of those after halftime. All this while shooting an impressive 14 for 16 from the field. The win knocks Liberty, who entered the tournament 25-7 and has the top seed, out of the conference title race. For Missouri State, it's one of the biggest wins of the season, and a March moment that Bears won't soon forget. In other news, for the Bears, the Missouri State men's basketball team isn't the only team doing well this March. The university's baseball team is currently 10-6 for the start of their 2026 season. The Bears hitters currently rank third in the nation in hard hit percentage, showing how powerful this lineup has been at the plate. Leading the charge is Curry Sutherland, who tops the team with 6 home runs and 19 runs batted in so far this season. Jax Ryan also has been a standout on offense and defense. In the Bears' recent matchup against the Memphis Tigers, Ryan made 14 catches, helping anchor this team defensively. The Bears are now headed to the take on Liberty University this weekend. They will face Arkansas State when they return to Hammons Field on March 17th. Another collegiate sports this week, the stage is almost set for another year of the biggest month in college basketball. This Sunday at 5 p.m., the March Madness selections begin. Duke, Michigan, and Arizona all finished 29 and in the 2 regular season, and will likely be rewarded with the #1 seed for each region. Florida overtakes UConn for the final #1 seed, and that could change based on results in the SEC and the Big East tournaments. The bubble also will be worth watching in the last week as Virginia Commonwealth University, Missouri, Southern Methodist University, and Indiana are the last 4 teams in. New Mexico, Auburn, San Diego State, and Seton Hall are the first 4 teams out. The tournament will start with 68 teams, and the first 4 games are expected to start Tuesday on March 17th, with the Sweet 16 beginning just 9 days later on March 26th. And prior to that, the final 4 teams will travel to Indianapolis, where the final 2 games will be played on Saturday, April 4th, and Sunday, April 6th. With March Madness always having prehistoric performances, the NBA had one of their own. Bam Adebayo, the center for the Miami Heat, scored 83 points Tuesday night against the Washington Wizards. This is now the second most points scored in a single NBA game, and the most in Heat history. This passes the late Kobe Bryant's 81 points against the Toronto Raptors in 2006. Adebayo's 83 points also sit behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962, the most in a single NBA game. Adebayo now holds the single-game records for the most free throws made in a game with 36, and free throws attempted for 43. The Heat now sit as the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference as they hope to finish strong in a playoff push.
Dust off your crowns and sashes, Missouri. For the 2nd year in a row, the Miss Teen Volunteer America pageant winner has come straight from the Show Me State. 18-year-old Juliana Fallon from Kansas City, Missouri, was crowned this past weekend. While her talent and interview answers stood out, what helped her win the crown was her service initiative. Fallon's initiative, called Hope for Every Heart, will host donation drives, fundraising events, and more for those in need. After this win, Juliana will also become the national spokesperson for the Miss Volunteer America organization's various partners. Some of these include St. Jude Children's Research Hospital and the Salvation Army. Along with these volunteer opportunities, Fallon was presented with a $10,000 scholarship to help further her education. Juliana said, quote, "I'm feeling so grateful. I wouldn't be here without my family and my board back in Missouri. Congratulations to Juliana Fallon. We can't wait to see how she will impact her community."
Well, that's very impressive. It sounds like she is a very promising young woman.
Yes.
She's only 18 years old, accomplishing all that. That's absolutely insane. Very impressive, very hopeful
First
too.
runner-up is...
That's going to do it for us today. I'm Jesse Elliott.
And I'm Lillian Jackson. For all of us here with Ozarks News Brief, have a great day.